Hey everyone, this is Jordan, and in this week's episode of LanderBolt Success Hour, I do have a commercial announcement, and that first commercial announcement is that LanderBolt is opening up for the first time our referral program, and through the month of March, starting on Monday. So you have 10 days. After you refer two people using the LanderBolt referral system, after you refer two people to LanderBolt, you're going to earn 15% and then 5% every month that person's a member if they chose the recurring plan. After that, only in March, what we're going to do, and we've never done something like this, but we appreciate you being on our email list and following us, and we love our customers and we want you to succeed. And the best way to have recurring income is to promote affiliate offers that pay a monthly recurring commission. It's really nice because you get the sale and you have your referring commissions coming in every month, and you don't have to actually, after that, you don't have to worry about doing any marketing. So what we're going to do is once you get two sales, we're going to bump you to 50% commission on the upfront sale and then 10% per month. And that 10% is going to really add up, especially if you have a blog, email list, anything like that. If you're on forums, and there's a video. There's a video on the website, and I'll email it to all of you, and it'll be below in the YouTube subscription. There'll be a video and a link to sign up. It's the first time we're making our referrals program open to the public, so take advantage of this, and you have until the end of March. And in addition, the top three on the leaderboard, top three referral partners are going to get a MacBook Pro worth $3,000. So we are again opening this to the public for the first time. On Monday, we are opening our doors, and you can sign up and start getting commission. And there is a video that walks you through our referral center, and a link in the bottom of this YouTube channel. So let's go ahead with today's interview. Today I have with me Brett Michelson. Brett is a pretty special person because not only is he my partner, but he has a really, really strange story about how he has reached a successful life and a lifestyle that he's always dreamed of living. Brett, in a minute, is going to come on and share with you all his secrets on his experience in over 7 years of affiliate marketing. One thing, Brett is actually, he was the #1, according to all the super affiliates. He is a #1 landing page maker from scratch during this time period a few years ago, and he was selling his landing pages for ridiculously cheap amounts, and he didn't know at the time that the affiliates were doing six figures with these landing pages. So he got his start making landers for some of the biggest super affiliates and media buyers in the world. He also has no college degree, no education past high school. However, one thing that I'm gonna really want to ask him about is his insatiable appetite for specialized knowledge, and how self-teaching and that type of approach is worth 10 times the amount of paying for a 4-year degree in marketing and being in $100,000 worth of debt, when you can come out of high school and with a burning desire and a passion, you can do amazing things without having to sit in a classroom for 4 years, or 8. He has some the hobbies that he has are pretty crazy. He's definitely addicted to mastering skills, and that's a lot of really successful affiliates are about self-improvement and mastery. So he has two cool hobbies that you're going to hear in a moment. And he's also going to share with you his first affiliate campaign, which it's a huge secret, and I don't think he's talked about that, but you're really going to want to listen to that part. And then he's going to talk about the call center, and he has a really strange story. So Brett, thanks for the time. Thanks for coming on here today.
Of course, yeah, thanks for having me.
So Brett, why don't you go ahead and give all of our listeners the encapsulation of who you are, what you do, your background, your humble beginnings, where you grew up, and then we'll start to go ahead and share your secrets that you use to become successful.
Sure, yeah. I mean, where to begin? Pretty tough. Like you said, right now, I am your partner, of course, with LanderBolt. But let's go way back. I guess you said humble beginnings. I guess the affiliate thing started about 6 or 7, could be almost 8 years ago now. A long time ago. I am from Utah, and over there, I ran an IT business. So from like the age of 16 or so, I had a job in a call center doing technical support for dial-up internet service. So kind of way back then, I was really into computer stuff, kind of have been all the time. But anyway, so I had an IT business. I worked for some IT businesses, and then I ended up setting up computers and networks and routers and switches for small businesses in the like greater Utah, Salt Lake City area. So that's what I did for a while. And while I was doing that, I actually, of course, it kind of had always had this mindset of wanting to make more money and make money without having to have a normal job. And so, probably like many people listening, you turn to the internet for that. So I was around the internet and heard about this affiliate marketing thing. It actually started with ClickBank for me. So many of you have probably heard of ClickBank, but I was on ClickBank. Well, I heard that you could, there were some products on there, and if you promoted them, you could get paid for it. So I had no clue what I was doing and absolutely no experience at all. But I just, try to teach myself as much as possible, and I got in there and ended up promoting like I think it was like a guitar lessons offer. It's called like Jamarama or something like that. But anyway, so I got started there and just started to learn the ropes and everything like that. But while I was doing this, I joined some forums over time, for some paid forums like STM forum and things like that, and started kind of reading more about these so-called super affiliates that were making a ridiculous amount of money, and I wanted to become one of them. So I read as much as I could. But during this time, I didn't have very much money at all. So I had to find a way to fund my campaigns I was learning. I was trying to learn how to run campaigns, but it takes money, of course. So I offered my services to these. I made a post on a forum about building landing pages for people because I was always interested in the web and building websites, and I knew HTML and CSS, and I had taught myself some basic stuff around there. So I got started there, made a post, and then some people started hitting me up. Like you said in your intro, I had no clue what to charge these people. So I charged them between $5 and $10 a landing page. I didn't know the value of what I was making. I had no idea. So I just charged that, and I guess it kind of took off from there. A lot of people started hitting me up, maybe because the prices were so low, maybe because the landing pages that I was building for everyone were good. I actually don't know. It could be, but started building those, and then that's how I learned the ropes actually. So I started to see what these other guys were doing, and many of them were very, very helpful in actually offering me advice along the way on what I should do. So uh, without getting too lengthy, it kind of skipped ahead from there, and I ended up running, learning affiliate a lot better. Ended up doing a lot of like dating offers and things like that, and then went through a couple different business partners, running campaigns, and it became more successful, and it actually allowed me to sell and stop doing the IT work that I was still doing, like the networking stuff with small businesses, because actually that's not really my passion. I really didn't want to do that, so I kind of stopped doing that, kept doing affiliate, and I mean, I kind of leaving out a bunch of details, but maybe you can ask about those later in the interview. But skipping ahead, I ended up starting the company that we're doing now. So we're essentially doing the same thing I was doing before, helping with the landing page and technology side of things for affiliates. But yeah, I mean, it's been a wild ride. So that's kind of an overview. I mean, if you've got any other questions, we'll see where we can take it from there.
Well, let's backtrack for a moment because I'm really intrigued about how you transitioned from this first campaign with guitar lessons to becoming becoming an affiliate, and your obsession with self-improvement, and also you were known as the best landing page creator and builder, and you at the time were selling pages for $5 a piece, and that's where I actually met you about 5 years ago, through a guy named Twan who owned a big affiliate network, and I emailed him, I think, or something. He gave me your info. He was really secretive about you, actually. he didn't want people knowing about you, so that's how I knew. And I ordered 5 landing pages, and you whipped them up for me from scratch. And one of those landing pages went on to produce a campaign that did, for the first couple days, about $1,600 in profit. And that campaign ran for 6 months. And it was a landing page that I had an idea for in my head. And that is, I believe, one of your superpowers is you can take what's in your imagination and you can actually build that. And there's very few people who can, it's very easy to talk about stuff, building things, but actually turning that into a product or making that into fruition is one of the hardest things to ever do. To take an idea and monetize it, actually get it to market, or take actions on your ideas is really what I want to hear. If you could share with people on the call. I think you read some book or met some guru or something and kind of gave you inspiration. But without that, there really is no chance of success if you don't take action on your ideas. And if if you could have the best idea in the world, if you don't know how to monetize it or actually create it, then get someone who can do that and hire them, or beg them until they do, which is what I had to do. I had to bribe Brett to do some stuff. Brett, why don't you go ahead and share some secrets about your days in selling landing pages, and then also how you harness that creative ability to not be the type of person who talks the talk but walks the walk.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, pretty broad question, but I have a couple ways to answer that. So way back when I was doing landing pages, like I said, I had no clue. I had no clue what type of landing pages or what I should build that would work. Because I didn't know affiliate very well myself. I was just hoping that the people who contacted me would, tell me exactly what to make. They would basically just contact me and say, make a page that does this and this and that, and that'd be good, because that was what I was selling, was my service to do that. But I think what ended up being more successful was A lot of the guys, including you actually, that contacted me and had me build landing pages, didn't really give me a specific thing. It was more like, I need a page that, does this one thing, but leave out all the details and leave those up to me. And I think actually uh, it allowed me to be more creative and come up with like an outside view of what might work. Because in affiliate, as pretty much everyone listening to this probably already knows, affiliates all about ripping pages that are out there, and everyone's stealing each other's pages, and everyone's using all the same stuff. And so I think a lot of what people struggle with, or struggled with, and probably still do struggle with, is everything gets burned out, and no one's willing to really reinvent and try to create brand new, funnels and things like that. So I think some of the things I did, were new, that hadn't been done, because I had no clue what I was doing. So it's not like I knew affiliate that I couldn't even rip someone else's page, because I really had no clue what was going on. So I think that was a huge part of that. The other thing, so I think, to summarize that, it's more like the creativity thing. I think I stood in a good position of, I knew the technical side of things, but I was also passionate about trying to learn affiliate. And so I had both the marketing mindset in my head, but also the technical side. And a lot of, from my experience anyway, a lot of technical people don't have the marketing expertise, or they don't really care for the marketing side of things. They just want to get in the code and make a page. I had both, and I think that like lended itself well to what I did. And then of course, when I got feedback from guys like you, in fact, that said, things were working really well, then it just got better from there. But so that's the answer to the whole, like, what maybe helped with the landing page thing. But as far as success is concerned, it's like you said. So way back when I had the IT business, I paid $300 a month for a crappy one-room office in Salt Lake City, because I could work from home with my IT business and also with my marketing. You can always work from home, but I found out I wasn't motivated enough working from home. I would feel I'd rather just sleep, or when you're at home, you're almost too comfortable. I felt like I wasn't executing enough. I was too comfortable. So I paid $300 a month and found some really rundown, crappy office in downtown Salt Lake. It was like the worst kind of office space you could find, because I didn't have enough money to get the good stuff. So I got this crappy office, and while I was there, along with the marketing and the IT stuff that I was doing, I taught myself how to code. I was always been passionate about the computer stuff, so I was learning more about like PHP and how to code like websites. And I had this idea in my head that I wanted to start an app, like a web app, or this is before this is before like a SaaS or a software as a service. This is before those were really popular, but I wanted to do something on the internet. I wanted to create a product. So my mindset really changed when I met a guy. I put an ad on Craigslist, actually, looking for essentially a developer, because I didn't consider myself to be a developer at this time. I didn't know enough, but I knew I wanted to build a website, and I had all these ideas. And so I put an ad on Craigslist looking for a developer that would, I guess, whether it might be stupid, but in my mind, I thought maybe this developer would come in and, work for me or work with me on a project, and then take like 50% of the cut without actually me paying him. So anyway, I put this ad on Craigslist, and so I put it out there, and this kid, this guy, he saw the ad and was in the same boat as me. He wanted to start some projects and stuff. Anyway, he ended up coming by my office, and we put our heads together, and I partnered with him. And honestly, a lot of my motivation and drive came from this guy. He had so much. It seemed like he was like, all he knew how to do was execute. The guy was so good at just waking up every day and talking less and doing more. And it really motivated me to kind of catch up to his level. And you mentioned a book he introduced me to. I'm not sure if in the other success hours for LanderBolt. You've talked about it, but he introduced me to Think and Grow Rich, the book, which huge mindset change going through that. And kind of from that day forward, I kind of have tried to nonstop execute on things. I've kind of, and it got rid of all the fear of not having money and the fear. If you read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about there. But it got rid of all these like fears and problems I had, I think. So for me, that's really where it started. I was doing affiliate stuff at the time and all that, but my mindset really changed when I met this dude. And he went on to, maybe we'll get him on a success hour one of these days, but he went on to start a very successful couple of businesses. And I won't go into that, but he did go on to be quite successful. So that's pretty cool stuff there. So that's, for me, as far you asked about, how I kind of got that mindset, that's really where it came from for me.
So Brett, one thing the listeners are getting questions about is does email, I told a few folks that you did email affiliate marketing, and that's very rare, a very rare part of affiliate marketing that affiliates start out with or know about. And can you share some secrets of how you were doing it? I know you haven't done it in a while, but email still works, and I believe it'll always work. And that was one way you were actually running traffic through email at a time when a lot of people had just, gone back, were going to display and going to Facebook and social and all these sites, and you actually had a partner and you're doing email. So can you share some of the email secrets you have for affiliate marketing?
Sure. Yeah. So that's actually a funny story because at first we didn't even know it was email. And so let me tell you how that happens. I was running dating offers, single opt-in dating offers, and we were buying traffic from a lot of different traffic sources with standard media buys, like banner ads and pop under ads and things like that. So we were doing that, and it was working okay. Me and a business partner, it was going okay. But then we were always looking for more traffic to buy. Of course, we were looking to scale and get more places to buy traffic, and we ended up getting in contact with another guy I believe we met on a forum. I can't remember where we met this guy, actually. It's been a while, and he said he had some traffic for us that converts really well, and we asked him where it was from. And at first he wouldn't tell us. He said, I can't tell you where it's from. And so we were clearly skeptical and decided that, let's just take a small risk. And we put about $5,000, I think, into this. And the guy said all we needed was a URL, like an offer URL where we were going to send the traffic to, and a short creative, like a short, bunch of text or something like that, like a headline and a sub headline, basically. And so we figured it was maybe native ads, or maybe he was, maybe it was just a standard banner ad that he was selling to us. We weren't even really sure. But at the end of the day, it ended up being email traffic. So we actually didn't build our own list, which in retrospect, I kind of wish we would have, because building a list will always, I think, have better long-term results, of course, than not building a list, because having an email list is one thing an affiliate you can do to actually have a small asset, whereas usually an affiliate, you're kind of just a middleman, and you're not, even if you make $100,000, those aren't your customers. You've just got those customers for somebody else. So building an email list is something I wish I would have done, but in this case, it was just buying email traffic. So we found a guy, I guess, who sells, space he sells basically a media buy inside of an email list that he owns. So it's essentially like renting an email list, but we never actually got a hold of the list due to canned spam and all the other laws that surround emails. We were very adamant about staying compliant. We didn't really want to go the black hat route because we know that doesn't last very long. So anyway, but we ended up buying this traffic, and the $5,000 we put in ended up like 300-400% ROI for a while, and it ended up working really well. So I mean, it's not a ton of great info there. I mean, I wish I had a better like secret to it. There's no real secret. We just found a good traffic source, which was email, and some guy was selling it to us. It ended up drying up at some point, like it always does. But by this time, I think by that time I had moved on to more of the software side of things. But yeah, so I mean, there's no real secret that I ran into anyway. It's more or less just kind of the matching the offer that we had with a good traffic source, and it's not like we just stumbled into it. It took a lot of testing, and you have to. I mean, people ask me all the time as well, like with experience in affiliates, they ask like, what's the number one thing that, I mean, if I had one thing I could tell everybody, that would be the best piece of advice to help them succeed more in their affiliate campaigns or to make successful affiliate campaigns. It's kind of the answer that nobody wants to hear, which is you got to just test. You have to spend money and you have to test, because that's all I did. I mean, from my experience, maybe I was one of the unlucky ones, and some people run into it much easier than I did. But for me, it was never very easy. I always had to just spend a lot of money to test a lot of placements and a lot of different things, and then find the things that worked and keep doing them, and find the things that didn't work and stop doing them. So, but that's really, I wish I had more of a secret to tell you about the email, but unfortunately, it was kind of just a media buy. Actually, we kind of just got a little bit lucky on it, I think.
Well, how about I pause you there? The secret is your ability to get out of bed and continue to test without the fear of knowing that it could fail, because the mentality that can stagnate you and prevent you from taking any action, in my opinion, is the fear of failure. So you would get out of bed and test and test and test, knowing that with every test, the equivalent of success could come. And that, I think, was the secret behind you finding the email campaign, in my opinion. And can you talk about your number one, your testing, and number two, how your method of testing landing pages, because that is really in affiliate world. If you can drive traffic and you can get clicks to banners, a landing page is the number one, in my opinion, the number one skill that an affiliate can learn. It's very easy these days to learn how to media buy, to learn how to track your traffic, to learn how to get offers. But a compelling pre-landing page with copy, images, the right kind of styles, it makes the difference between you becoming a millionaire and never succeeding. So can you talk to and tell us about the mindset behind testing, knowing that probably 90% of your ads are going to fail, but pushing through that and keep going until you hit success?
Yeah, so a couple things there. Not quite on the landing page subject, but it's like you said, the big thing is you kind of have to be okay with that when you put these money into these tests, you're probably going to lose it. And that's tough, especially if you're already on a tight budget, and especially if you're looking to affiliate marketing to kind of bail you out of a tough situation already. I think that's one of the biggest struggles that a lot of people have with affiliate is it sounds quite glamorous, affiliate marketing. It sounds like you could get in and make a ton of money, and it's going to pay off your debt, and it's going to allow you to live a free lifestyle. And it certainly can do those things, but that's not how it starts. Just like any business in the world, it's not like you just start doing it and suddenly I can go and buy a nice car. You have to go through all the hard times first, and the hard times you have to be able to push through. So one of the biggest, I mean, for me, the number one thing that I could do to push through all those like hard times was not look at my stats. So I think you've used this phrase before too, but I always used to call it being a stats whore. I don't want to. I didn't. If I sat there and just hit refresh on my stats all day long and looked at like the money I was losing, it made me feel like I was sitting there with a lighter and just burning cash. Like I just had like $100 bill in front of me. I just light it on fire and throw it. So that's what it made me feel like. And if you constantly make yourself feel like that, you'll change your mood in such a way that you won't be motivated anymore. So for me, the biggest thing with testing was to kind of make an educated guess about what I think would work best and then make sure I put enough money through it. But during the time when the money was going through it, I would try as hard as I could to not like micromanage it and not just hit refresh every 2 seconds and sit there and stare at my computer. So I would literally like start tests, me and my business partner. We would start tests and then close our laptops and go outside and go do something that we enjoy or whatever, just to get my mind off it while it was running. So that's a big thing there. And that's just with the kind of motivational side. But as far as like landing pages and building successful ones, a couple of things I learned over the time was at first I thought, especially with CPA offers like single opt-in email submit offers and things like that, I thought that to be successful, I would make a landing page that just got people to click through as quick as possible, because you'd be looking at your stats and you would say, oh, well, I want a high click-through rate, because if I have a high click-through rate, then more people will have the chance to get a conversion, right? So high click-through rate in my mind was like, oh yeah, that's good. But over time, I learned that the higher the click-through rate, the lower the conversion rate, which is pretty obvious when you think about it, because if more people are clicking through, then less of those people are going to actually be interested in, in the offer at the end, a lower percent. So I learned like one big secret for me was finding the sweet spot in how engaging a landing page was. So this is why quiz landing pages, I think, and survey landing pages, this is why they work so well, I think, because if you just have a landing page that has one button on it that says like click here to get this offer, or click here to sign up, or click here to win a free iPhone, or whatever it is you're doing, a lot of people are going to click that button without even thinking. They're going to just thoughtlessly click that button, and that's not good, because the whole point of a landing page is to pre-sell your visitor and to make them interested in the offer and to tell them why they should go through with your offer. Why should they? So for me, it was better to make landing pages that are longer, they're more engaging, it takes more time to go through them. People actually have to really think about the offer. So that had the effect of really lowering the click-through rate, which sounds bad, but then the conversion rate makes up for it, because the people that do click through are your actual customers who really will convert. So with testing, that's kind of like the balance. There's a lot of like math out there that a lot of people will say, like when you test, make sure you spend 3 times the amount of, so you take your payout for your offer, let's say it's $10. You're getting paid $10 for every conversion on your offer. I think one of the rules of thumb is like make sure you spend at least 3 times that amount for each of your landing pages or each of your ads, to make sure you don't like pause things too early. That kind of gets more into the technical side of it, but you'll hear a lot of advice out there like that. But for me, it just honestly almost boils down to like gut feeling and just not overthinking it. So like with landing pages, if I was getting started today, there's a lot more out there today than there was when I started. A lot more ways to make landing pages, a lot more ways to find them. If I was starting today, I would maybe use an ad intelligence tool to see what's out there, but I wouldn't rip those pages directly, because you have a chance at making money by using someone else's landing page, but you got a better chance at making money if you completely reinvent and then you pioneer the next really high converting funnel. So I would, just for an idea, find out what other people were doing, then improve on it, change it around, which is obviously one of the reasons we partnered up, me and Jordan here, and made LanderBolt to kind of make that process easier.
So, and to kind of wrap this up, why don't we talk about the biggest thing that I believe you can give value to all listeners, and that is automating your business. Because once you do that, it gives you one of the most incredible things in the world, which is you can buy back your time. And if you don't understand what that is, you can read about it in the book, Brett recommended, The Millionaire Lifestyle. But basically, buying back your time is hiring someone to do something that you were doing that's tedious. So you buy them, and then you have that free time, and then you keep doing that and doing that and doing that until eventually you have complete time freedom. And it is, if anyone else has experienced it, it is one of the best feelings in the world to have time freedom, because then you follow what you're passionate about, and what you're passionate about always will lead to success in some sort of way, because passion and burning desire are really the keys to success. If you're just going to your job to pull down a paycheck, and if you're just doing something simply for that you don't enjoy doing, but you're just doing it to get money, your life may not be what you have, and it may be hard for you to achieve your dreams with that mindset. So can you talk about that a little bit, Brett? We'll wrap this up.
Yeah, so like the time freedom thing, of course. I mean, you kind of said most of it there. The time freedom is huge. If you can achieve that, if you can always be thinking about trying to get to that point, your life will improve tenfold. I think people maybe underestimate how much daily stresses add up over the years and cause a drop in your motivation. Because if every single day of your life you don't have time freedom, and you're waking up and you're going to a job, and you're doing this every single day of your life, it really has got to wear in on you, and you're not going to have any energy left at the end of the day after you've done these things to wake up and then work on your business. So I would always think about trying to do that. It's kind of the advice that nobody in affiliate, like if you're doing affiliate marketing, it's kind of the advice that nobody wants to hear. But honestly, the best way to, I think, get to that point is to provide value. A lot of affiliate doesn't provide value, and many of you in affiliate marketing may know that, where the offers or the products that you're advertising or whatever you're doing on an everyday basis, it's in some ways easy to kind of say that it's not providing value to the customer at the end of it. So I think if you can do that, it's kind of what no one wants to hear. Then you'll end up getting to that time freedom. So let me explain that just a little bit. Like and this is explained in a lot of different books. One of them is Think and Grow Rich. Another one Jordan mentioned is called The Millionaire Fast Lane. I would recommend that book to anybody. It's a really great thing. It's called The Millionaire Fast Lane. But if you sniff out money, so if your goal is to make money, it's not as good a goal as it would be to help people or to create a product that helps people. Because then, rather than you having to go and look for money, the money will just become attracted to you. So it's if you got to flip that equation. And I think in affiliate marketing, a lot of people, I always say it's like you're sniffing for money. You're kind of like waiting for the next shiny object, or you're trying to sniff out money. And with that attitude, you could spend your entire life just sniffing for money, and you won't achieve that time freedom. But if you can create something that makes money be attracted to you, like build a product or sell something that helps, or offer a service that many people could benefit from and could help their everyday life, then I think the money will become attracted to you, and you'll achieve that time freedom. So
I
that's
love
my
that.
biggest piece of advice.
Wow, I think that's the number one gem you can take away from this call. If you're chasing money, you're it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right, Brett? If you're constantly chasing money, you're going to be looking for a next bright shiny object, and not understand that money is attracted to positivity, success, and if you don't have a business that your customers are not successful, you won't have any customers. So the real way to help customers become successful is to not worry. And this is all, I mean, if you read Think and Grow Rich, or somehow you get your hands on the original manuscript that is very difficult to find, it's everywhere, and it's seeded and implanted in every version of Think and Grow Rich. And this is the secret. In Think and Grow Rich, it talks about a secret that it's an epiphany you'll have after reading it. You may not. Might have to read it 7 times. The secret is doing more than what you pay for, and I think Brett will agree with this. Doing more work than what you're paid for without having any expectation of monetary return. And when you do that, instead of hunting for money, you're hunting for helping people, and the money will be magnetically attracted to you. And when it comes in, it will come in such great quantities that it, just as Think and Grow Rich predicts, it comes in so fast and so quickly. It's like The Tipping Point. If you ever read that book by Malcolm Gladwell, 10,000 Hour Rule, Malcolm Gladwell, another amazing book. But that is, I think Brett just shared the ultimate secret, and it's not that hard to help people. Just think about everyone has a gift, and think about your gift and how you can help people, and just every day for 60 days, help someone every day. Just do one thing for the next 60 days to help someone. And in those 60 things, you will find something that you love, that helps people, and you will become successful. Would you agree with that?
I would. And I mean, for those that are listening who are in affiliate marketing and maybe are wondering, well, how can I apply that to my current business if I'm doing affiliate marketing, if I'm running offers? I would say the best way to start with that mindset is to be very selective about the offers and the products that you are advertising on an everyday basis. So there's a lot of offers out there. There's a lot of things to sell on the internet. There's a lot of ways to do affiliate marketing. I think the best way to improve your success in the long term, and it might actually result in less success in the very, very short term, but if you want long-term longevity and you want long-term life success in affiliate marketing, I think the best way to get started is to be selective about your offers and pick ones that are actually helping the customer at the end of the day. So I know a lot of you listening, you might be running like Nutra offers or whatever it is, but just think to yourself, the person who actually takes their credit card out and buys what you're advertising, did their life get improved? Did their life improve as a result of buying the thing that you're advertising? And if you can't say yes to that, I would say don't run those offers. That sounds like I'm being kind of conceited, maybe, or it sounds kind of short-sighted to some people, I think. But in my opinion, I think that you should be proud of the things that you're advertising, and you should wake up every day and have a good feeling about what you've just convinced somebody to purchase. So that would be a starting point for me if I was doing just affiliate marketing, a starting point for getting that, making money attracted to me kind of mindset.
I love that, and that, I think we'll end there.
Yep.
We could talk all day about things that I mean, you're a wealth of knowledge, and you also are someone who I highly respect because of your ability to make magic happen, simply because you have that skill set, and you sought that out, knowing that you had a dream to have a better lifestyle. And live your dream life, and you are actively pursuing it, and it just gets better every day. You love what you do, and when you love what you do, life can either happen to you or happen for you. And when you love what you do and you wake up and you get up motivated and you have time freedom, life will happen for you, and not to you. And that is, I think, where we'll end. Brett, appreciate the time,
Of
and
course.
I think we'll have you on again, and talk more tech stuff. But really, it's the tech stuff you can go learn anywhere. You can go on download go buy a course somewhere and learn tech stuff. This this business success hour is much more valuable because it's concepts and stories from people who have started from the bottom, worked their way up, and that's the way it needs to be done. If you are handed success on a silver platter, it's hard to stay at the top. But if you crawl and you crawl and you go through the mud and you're in the trenches and you just don't stop. You're relentless. You just keep pushing, pushing. Finally, you make it. Then when you get to the top, you stay much longer. And I'd love to bring you on again. Have a great day, Brett. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, you too. Thanks for having me. Have a good one.
Bye.